This is the book of Exodus, chapter 32, verse 13. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants to whom thou swearest by thine own self, and sayest unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak, Radash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, who well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Exodus, chapter 32, verse 13, is that when you read the Bible from Genesis through Revelation, it's always talking about the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes, okay? And there has been a misconception, especially amongst these so-called Christians, or we like to call that plantation Christianity, that whenever they read about through Abraham, all the nations shall be blessed, okay? When they read about the promises and the Gentiles, automatically they think everybody's included that believe on the name of that ridiculous name, Jesus. And that's not true. That is not true. That is not true. So the reason why I brought out Exodus 32 and 13 is because this is a time of Moses, when Moses was pleading to the Lord, please do not put your wrath upon the children of Israel for what they're doing. All right, because the Lord told Moses, hey, look, man, they're out there building a calf, all right, they're worshiping idols. I'm about to bring the wrath on them. And Moses pleaded with the Lord and told him, remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants, to whom thou swearest by thy own self, and sayest unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit forever. So Moses was telling the Lord, please don't destroy them, because you promised us, all right, that we were going to get the promised land and that we were going to be fruitful and multiply our seeds. Now, where did Moses, get this account from? All right, well, when the Lord spoke to Abraham when he was about to sacrifice his son Isaac, all right? See, the thing is, the children of Israel, before the books were written, they all knew the history of their ancestors. They all knew the history, all right? Moses all knew the history of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They knew the history, okay? Because it was orally spoken of before the books were written. That's why Moses made that statement. And this is what this is exactly where what he literally restated exactly what the Lord told Abraham. All right? Now, this is Abraham speaking to the Lord right when Abraham's about to sacrifice his only son. All right? And Abraham did it because he had faith. All right? He had faith in the Lord. Because the Lord said through his seed, all right, which is Isaac, that the blessings, all right, and the promised land will be given. So that's why he did it. So let's go. Genesis 22 and 15. And the angel of the Lord called out to Abraham out of heaven the second time, 16, and said, by myself I have sworn, saith the Lord, for because thou hast done this thing, and hast not withheld thy son, thy only son, right? Because you had faith, you were going to sacrifice your only son, all right? You believed on the words and the commandment I gave in you, all right? 17, that in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed as the stars of heaven. The same thing Moses told the Lord, okay? The Lord told Abraham, and as the sand which is upon the sea shore, and thy seed shall possess the gates of his enemies, right? Because in history, if you go to the book of Joshua, Joshua went on a war campaign, all right, and started conquering all those different nations that were in our promised land. All right. 18. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my voice. Right. And what nations was the Lord talking about? The 12 tribes, because each tribe is a nation. Now, let's go to the book of Genesis 17 and 1, all right, to better explain how did Abraham get the blessing, get the covenant, okay? Genesis 17 and 1. And when Abram, right now, this is before Abraham got his name changed, all right? He was known as Abram. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the almighty power. Walk before me and be thou perfect. 2. And I will make my covenant between me and thee and will multiply thee exceedingly. Right. So the covenant was established through Abraham. Okay. This is the beginning of where the chosen line starts. 3. And Abram fell on his face, and the Most High Power, Yahweh, talked with him, saying, 4. As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Okay? Now, when you so-called Christians read that, all of a sudden, everybody gets to be saved. Okay, that believes on that wicked name Jesus. That is not true. Okay? Because the Lord is going to explain it. 5. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham, right? Or in the Hebrew, okay, Abraham. Now, when you go to Abraham or Abraham, check this out. Hold on one second. All right, in the Hebrew it's pronounced Abraham. Esau says it retardedly because he's the devil. Abraham, father of a multitude or chief of a multitude. Here's the point. Abraham, all right, friend of the Most High, because that's what Abraham means, or Abraham means, friend of the Most High, and founder of Hebrew nation via the Most High Power, Yahweh's elect covenant. So who was given the covenant? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. That's why Moses said, let's go back. Did we forget? Okay. Exodus 32 and 13. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants, to whom thou swearest of thy own self, and says unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. Right. That was the covenant. All right. So this is clearly talking about the nation of Israel, the Hebrew nation, the elect's covenant. Let's continue on going on. All right. This is not hard to comprehend. The problem is, all right, is that plantation Christianity has poisoned the minds of the majority of our people. And that's done because you refuse to seek, all right, the Lord and follow his ways, his laws, his statutes, and his covenants. Because of that, that's why you don't know what the hell's going on. And then you talk madness when you start talking about the Bible. Let's continue on. It says right here, 6, and I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, right, the 12 tribes, and kings shall come out of thee, right. That's why you have the book of Kings, all right, King Solomon, King David, all right, King Saul before he turned and became a demon, all right. You have Jeroboam and Rehoboam, okay. So hey, this is true. This did happen. 7. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee in their generations, for an everlasting covenant. Right, everlasting, meaning it cannot be broken. So the promises, the blessings are always given to the nation of Israel. All right, and that's what the Lord promised to Abraham, or in the Hebrew, Abraham. All right, friend of the Most High. That's what he promised to Isaac, and that's what he promised to Jacob. Okay, and that's why Moses recounted to the Lord, hey, remember what you said? And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee in their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be a power unto thee and to thy seed after thee. 8. And I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan for an everlasting possession, and I will be their power. Right. So our promised land is where all the heathens are at right now. All right. Because that the land of Canaan, all right. And first, let's go into Canaan. Let's go into Canaan right here. Canaan, right? Lowland. That's what it means, lowland. The fourth son of Ham, the progenitor of the Phoenicians and the various nations with the people, sea coast of Palestine. But right here's the point. The land west of Jordan, people by descendants of Canaan, and subsequently conquered by the Israelites under Joshua. So here is the many nations that was promised to Abraham, the 12 tribes. All right, this was the blessing. Okay, each tribe is a nation, and this is what Joshua accomplished by listening to Lord, by kicking out all the heathens round about. All right, this at fact right here is the land of Canaan. This is the land of Canaan right here. Okay, on this side. So clearly, this is talking about the children of Israel. All right, this is not talking about everybody. All right, so when you read about Abraham and the many nations, it's talking about, all right, through the promised seed. Okay, now and oh look, 9. And the Most High Power Yahweh said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. Right, and it was spoken orally. Okay, hey, all right, we come through Abraham's seed, Isaac seed, Jacob's seed. All right, that's what the Israelites were saying. We're going to be given a promised land. When they were in captivity in Egypt, they were going to be given a promised land. All right, that's what they had faith in, man. All right, be given their own land. That's what we have faith in, that we're going to be given our land back. All right, that we lost because we went off. That's what we have faith in. Now let's go to Hebrews, and I'm going to finish off with this, because this is Paul now speaking. All right, and you got a lot of these so-called Christians out there. All right, these are the plantation Christians that want to talk about, oh, Paul was an apostle of the Gentiles. You don't know what that means, okay? You clearly don't know what that means, because Paul, in the book of Hebrews, is constantly talking about the history, the culture, the heritage of the Israelites. No other nation, okay? And let me start, and I'll finish off with this. Hebrews 11:8. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should have received for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out not knowing whether he went right, because Abraham was a sojourner. He was just following the Lord. The Lord was telling him to go here. He went there. He kept going wherever the Lord told him, right? The land of Shinar. All right, there's actually a map. Let me get it. A map of Abraham's journey. Let's just put in Abraham's journey map. Abraham's journey map. Okay, let's just pull this up. This is straight off the cuff. Just going with the spirit. All right. Abraham's journey. Is this good to look at? No, this. Hold on 1 second. Bear with me. Let me go to size, large. All right, you got Okay, this is where Abraham was moving. Okay. Abraham was moving as the Lord told him to, to keep moving. You can read it in Genesis, everywhere. Abraham was walking. Okay, that's a map right there. All the way till he got to what is this right here? It says Egypt so Abraham went up from Egypt, right? Egypt. Okay. Outside, well, Egypt's here, but Egypt had dominion, had a lot of dominion at that time, because Egypt was a powerful nation. Let's look at another one. This one ain't even. All right. Hey, this one's even better. Well, that didn't work out. Salakia. But yeah, so this is where Abraham was walking, all right? Just listening to the Lord, because we didn't have a promised land, all right? So that's the point. I want to go off on a tangent. 9. By faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. Right, because Isaac and Jacob, all right, they believed too that they were going to give a promised land, all right, eventually. They all have faith that they were going to be given a promised land. 10. For he looked for a city which had foundations, whose builder and maker is the Most High Power, Yahweh. Right. It's the same thing we're doing. We're looking for the kingdom of heaven, man. The city, all right, that the Lord's going to build for us, all right, in righteousness. Not America. This is not our place. This is not our place of rest. 11. Through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed and was delivered of a child when she was past her age. Right. Sarah had Isaac at a very old age because she judged him faithful who had promised. Right. Because the Lord promised Abraham, okay, that he was going to have a son that was going to be given a land, and that his seed was going to multiply. All right, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. 12. Therefore sprang there even of one, and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in multitude, and as the sand which is by the seashore innumerable. Right. What did Moses say? Okay. Exodus 32 and 13. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants to whom thou swearest by thy own self, and sayest unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven. And all this land that I've spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. So that's exactly what Paul was reciting. The account, okay, of the time of Abraham, all right, Abraham. All right, that was the promise, man. That the nation Israel is going to be as the sand of the sea, man. That we're going to have many children. And if you look at our nation today, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans, we have the largest nation under the sun. If you put us together as a nation, all right, as the Lord had deemed it, we are the largest nation. Okay? which makes sense. 13. These all died in faith, not having received the promises. Right. Abraham, Isaac, Sarah, Jacob, they weren't given the land yet, right? Because it wasn't until the time of Moses and Joshua that we were able to now start gaining our territory, land. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off. Right, they had faith that one day they were going to give in the promised land, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. Right, strangers and pilgrims on the earth, because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. They didn't have a land yet. 14. For they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country. 15. And truly, if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned. 16. But now they desire a better country, that is, in heavenly, before the Most High Power Yahweh is not ashamed to be called their power, for he had prepared for them a city. Right, the kingdom of heaven. 17. By faith Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac, and he that had received the promise offered up his only begotten son. 18. Of whom it was said that in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Right, because Isaac had Jacob, and that's where the promise was given to. All right. 19. Accounting that the Most High Power Yahweh was able to raise him up, even from the dead, from whence also received him in a figure. 20. By faith Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. Right, and that's where we're at. Jacob got the blessing. Jacob's received the promises of the kingdom of heaven. All right, Jacob was going to be a fruitful nation, the 12 tribes. And if you look, all right, when Joshua completed his war campaign, look at our territory that we had. Each of us, all right, was a nation, and we had our own land, and we populated it. So yes, Abraham was the father of many nations, but that was talk about the Israelites, okay, of the blessings, of the covenant, of the promises. That's why Moses told the Lord, remember what you told Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So if you can't get this, it wasn't meant for you to get. Excuse me. So I just wanted to bring this out. All right, Abraham was given the promises by the Lord that through his seed, all right, his son Isaac, all right, and Isaac bare Jacob, that the 12 tribes were going to be a great nation, all right, as as what Paul said. Where did Paul say that? Let me go back, just in case we forgot. Right here. Hebrews 11:12. Therefore sprang there even of one, and him good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in multitude. Right. And as the sand which is by the seashore, innumerable. Right. The children of Israel are as the sand of the sea. Okay, that's how many children we have. Okay, and we're very fruitful. So clearly this whole Bible is for the children of Israel. All right, Abraham begot Isaac, Isaac begot Jacob, Jacob's the progenitor of 12 tribes. That's who the promises and blessings are for. That's who the land was given for, all right, for the nation Israel. And if you can't get it, it wasn't for you to meant to get, okay? And with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Wakak, double honors to the apostle, great millstone, Ruel, taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring. Keep the faith. As for the few sisters, keep learning, keep watching. Shalom and a Bible ball. Shalom.